Creating action research is a challenging journey due to the need of rigorous methodology, balancing theory and practices, and navigating ethical considerations, as we must design a clear action plans while adapting a unpredictable real-world context in the classroom, which often requires flexibility and resilience. Additionally, ensuring stakeholders' engagement and maintaining objectivity throughout the process and complexity to the journey.
I will describe my journey by conducting this action research as the word purposeful. I know that everyone or everything we do has its own purpose, and that purpose will give a light to the future of the learners who once dreamed to be us.
I describe my journey in action research as transformative. It's been a process of continuous learning, growth, and adaptation, not just in understanding the research topic but also refining my approach, perspectives, and methodologies along the way.
I describe myself as collaborative in doing or conducting the action research because I often requires myself working closely with colleagues and participants. Collaboration is crucial to ensure that the action research is based on real-world experiences and perspectives.
The best adjective that describes our experience in doing this is comprehensive. We strive to be detailed in our research, aiming to cover a wide range of relevant sources and perspective to provide well-rounded and accurate information. This comprehensive approach ensures that the responses are as informative and reliable as possible.
One adjective to describe my journey in doing action research would be enlightening. This is because throughout the process, I have gained valuable insights and knowledge that have broadened my understanding of the topic at hand. Has not only enhanced my learning but has also provided me with a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in knowing that I am making a positive difference in the world.
I can say that my experience in conducting action research is exciting because it's involved teachers actively working to be better themselves, their classrooms, schools, and educational institutions. But in practice, implementing action research in the classroom can be difficult undertaking, and depending on the direction of education policy, it may not always be a positive experience.
As a future educator, I must learn to conquer challenges. Catering the needs of diverse classroom is indeed challenging. There will always be challenges and problems that needs to be addressed. Identifying the problem, gathering data, and processing the gathered information in order to come up with various possible solutions and carrying out to actions are definitely a challenge. But at the end of the day, we should conquer all these challenges for the betterment of our future generations.
Establishing classroom rules and regulations creates a safe and conducive learning environment because it fosters and encourages respect, discipline, and responsibility for the students that could result peace and order inside the classroom.
Rules and regulations in the classroom are essential for creating a secure and supportive learning environment because they provide the classroom structure, encourage mutual respect between students and teachers, support consistency and expectation for behavior, and eventually improve focus in academic performance. By establishing clear expectation, everyone is aware of their obligation, which enhance the learning environment.
Classroom rules and regulations provide a framework for student behavior, promoting a positive atmosphere where everyone can learn and thrive. It is not about restricting students, but about creating a safe, structured, and positive learning environment where students feel comfortable and empowered to learn and grow.
Every teacher wants to keep her students safe and teach them what is and is not appropriate behavior inside the classroom. Classroom rules are set to teach students a proper and safe way to act within the classroom and thus improving learning experience. I learned that creating a positive and secure learning environment helps the student pay attention and concentrate while also encouraging meaningful learning. It motivates and encourages students to exercise more advanced critical thinking abilities.
Classroom rules and regulations are essential for creating a safety and conducive learning environment. They establish boundaries, promote safety and respect, minimize disruption, teach responsibility, and foster a positive atmosphere. By adhering to these rules, this student can thrive academically and personally while enjoying a supportive and enriching educational experience.
Classroom rules and regulations are essential for creating a safe, structured, and conducive learning environment where students can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. They provide a framework for positive behavior, respect, responsibility, and learning, laying the foundations for a successful education experience for all.
Classroom rules and regulation are indispensable for creating a safer learning environment. They promote order and structure, enhance physical safety, encourage respect and inclusivity, facilitate effective learning, build responsibility and accountability, and support mental health. By establishing clear guidelines and expectations, schools can create a nurturing and secure environment where students are free to learn, grow, and achieve their full potential.
Classroom management is greatly influenced by the regulation in the classroom. This offers the structure of the day-to-day activity in this classroom and clearly define standards of behavior. The students are able to concentrate on learning instead of negotiating social anxieties because of these structures which create a sense of safety and consistency.
I will manage my classroom by establishing safe and healthy rules and regulations. The strategies that I will employ for reward are the verbal phrases, such as very good, well done, excellence, and other positive phrases that could boost the confidence of the students to do good and right inside the learning environment. While on the consequences, I will use the reflection process method where they will reflect about their misbehavior by writing it on the paper.
Managing a classroom effectively involves several strategies such as establish clear expectation, foster positive relationship with your students by showing empathy, respect, and genuine interest in their well-being. Be consistent in enforcing rules and consequences. By employing these strategies consistently, you can create a classroom environment that promotes learning, respect, and positive behavior.
To maintain order and discipline in my classroom, my discipline approach will be consistent. Students should understand the rules so that they could be guided by the consequences of their action and their behaviors. To come up with better rewards and punishment, I will involve my student in the creation of class rules. I will not allow the rules to dominate and limit my students' ability to participate in discussion. I'll strike a balance between classroom discipline and the lesson.
To maintain discipline and order in my class, I will establish clear rules and procedures that promote respect, attentiveness, and collaboration. For rewards and consequences in my classroom, I will use positive reinforcement and fair consequences to encourage good behavior and discourage disruptive actions.
If I will become a teacher, I will build my classroom with mutual respect and kindness. I want them to understand that even though we respect each other, there's still a boundaries. They can come up to me and open about their problems, but if it's plain gossip, I won't partake it. Most of the time, gossip can hurt people, involve it with morals, so we can be united and help each other when it's needed.
To manage my classroom effectively, I use clear expectations, positive reinforcement, and fair consequences. This involves setting clear rules, communicating them consistently, and addressing misbehavior promptly. I praise good behavior and offer incentives while ensuring consequences match in the infraction. Additionally, I use restorative practices and proactive strategies to promote and support a learning environment.
Managing a classroom effectively as a teacher involves a combination of clear communication, consistent enforcement of rules, and fostering a positive learning environment. Dealing with the positive aspects, simply recognize their work. This can boost their morale and also motivate them. While dealing in the negative side, first we need to stay calm and only focus on solutions instead of dwelling on the negative behavior.
By implementing a balanced approach of rewards and consequences tailored to individual needs and promoting fairness, students can develop a sense of responsibility, accountability, and respect for themselves and others. This contributes to a positive and well-managed classroom environment.
The challenges I have encountered are such that designing the lesson plan that will appeal to all students, ensuring that it is relevant, meaningful, and engaging. Also thinking about what types of assessment I should use to measure and evaluate my students' level of ability and understanding towards our lesson. I dealt with these challenges by being mindful and careful in every step of creating a lesson plan, making myself aware of various teaching methods and strategies, and putting more effort into making them relevant to each learner.
Creating a lesson plan was challenging due to competency assessment, learning objectives, resource selection, and administrative duties. Overcoming obstacles involved organization, breaking tasks into manageable ones, seeking advice, and incorporating interesting exercises, customizing educational initiatives to meet individual student needs, promote successful learning outcomes.
Writing a lesson plan aids teachers in grasping and internalizing the lesson's flow. The lesson plan enables the teacher to focus on the student's learning process rather than merely the procedures that must be carried out. Having a well throughout the lesson plan increases the teacher's confidence in the classroom and increases the likelihood of that students will engage in meaningful learning.
Designing activities that are both educational and engaging is a significant challenge. We need to balance content delivery with interactive and motivating tasks, and how a student easily catch up the lesson. First thing that we need to consider are the learning objectives, clearly defined the student should know and be able to do by the end of the lesson. Objectives should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, or we call it SMART.
When writing lesson plans, challenges include aligning with objectives, selecting suitable strategies, and addressing diverse needs. To overcome these, I communicate with my cooperating teacher, seeking feedback, and differentiate instructions. Key considerations include defining clear objectives, considering student needs, collaborating, and reflecting on the past experiences to improve teaching practices.
Preparing a lesson plan is a crucial aspect of effective teaching, and it comes with its own set of challenges. By being aware of these challenges, teachers can be better prepared for them and develop strategies to address them in their lesson planning process. The formal process of instructional design is often referred as the ADDIE or ADDIE, which means the analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. It is involved the processes of documentation that is usually done with the designing of entire training flow. And an individual lesson scale, it is usually less formal, but the same basic steps are done even if only mentally.
I found it challenging to create activities that aligned with the lesson objectives and focused on the students. To address this, we should seek help and advice from other teachers who shared ideas on designing engaging activities that align with the learning goals. I think we should consider the time management, students' needs, and prior knowledge, make our lesson plan even more student-centered, and ask suggestions from other teachers, which is crucial to achieve effective learning.
When writing a lesson plan, teachers may encounter the following challenges: time management, differentiated instruction, engaging content, assessment and evaluation, and adaptability. By considering these case elements and addressing the challenges that may arise. Teacher can create effective and engaging lesson plan that support students' learning and academic growth.
Utilizing both non-digital and Utilizing both non-digital and digital teaching aids is essential for enhancing learning experiences. Non-digital aids offer hands-on learning, while digital aids provide dynamic and multimedia-rich content. I will integrate a variety of these aids into my lesson to cater to diverse learning styles and reinforce concepts effectively.
Both non-digital and digital teaching aids play important roles in enhancing the learning experience. By thoughtfully integrating both non-digital and digital teaching aids into your instruction, you can create dynamic and effective learning experiences that cater to the diverse needs of your students.
It is important to use both digital and non-digital teaching aids on teaching and learning process. It helps the educators to teach effectively and to address the needs of the diverse learners. The first thing to do when utilizing teaching aids is to experiment. When facing a new set of students, it is crucial to bring both digital and non-digital teaching aids with you, and when enough data is gathered, you can now select what is the best for the students to achieve the expected learning outcomes. Non-digital and digital teaching aids are both important. Traditional teaching aids like flashcards, poster, and real-life objects can capture student attention and break the monotony of digital screens, promoting engagement and active participation, while digital tools often incorporated gamification and multimedia elements that can motivate students and make learning more enjoyable. By effectively combining non-digital and digital teaching aids, teachers can create a diverse and rich learning environment that addresses various learning styles and keep students engaged. This blended approach ensures that all students have the opportunity to succeed and enjoy their educational journey.
Non-digital and digital teaching aids promotes active learning. It encourages students to actively participate the learning process through hands-on activities, simulations, or discussions. This deeper engagement leads to better understanding and knowledge retention. I know I can utilize teaching aids through technology integration while not using it for replacement because digital tools should enhance, not to replace, the traditional teaching methods.
Non-digital and digital teaching aids enhance learning by providing visual, auditory, and tactile representations of concepts. Non-digital aids offer hands-on experiences and flexibility, while digital aids provide dynamic content and access to vast resources. I consider learning objectives and student needs to select aids that complement the lesson and engage students actively, creating a rich and immersive learning environment that caters to diverse needs and interests.
Both digital and non-digital teaching aids are indispensable in education. Each type brings unique strengths to the learning process, and their combined use can create a more comprehensive and effective educational experience. By integrating both, educators can better engage students, cater to diverse learning needs, and prepare learners for future challenges in an increasingly digital world.
Both non-digital and digital teaching aids have their strength and can be used in combination to create a rich and varied learning experience. The choice of teaching aids depends on the educational context, learning objectives, available resources, and preferences of both the teacher and students.
Having a systematic approach to computing grades is crucial as it ensures accuracy, fairness, and transparency in assessing students' performance. By establishing clear grading criteria, weighing assignments appropriately, and consistently applying assessment methods, educators can provide meaningful feedback to students and track their progress effectively. Familiarization with different school forms further enhances this process, enabling educators to input grades accuracy, generate reports efficiently, and comply with institutional requirements seamlessly.
systematic approach to computing grades promotes fairness, accuracy, efficiency, accountability, data-driven decision-making, and effective communication in the educational setting. School forms are required by the Department of Education and are used to compile student records, assess performance, and ensure quality reporting.
Having a systematic approach on computing grades allows educators to have a fair and accurate results of the students' data. It also aids transparency. As a future educator, one must familiarize to the different school forms to be accomplished in order to be an effective and efficient teacher on varying situations on both teaching and learning journey.
I believe that the systematic approach in our grading system is helpful because it allows us to communicate information about learning to our students. This helps them to take charge of their learning, bounce back from setbacks, and succeed. Familiarizing with the different school forms benefits everyone involved in the educational process because it empowers students and informs parents.
Having a systematic approach to computing grades ensures fairness, consistency, and transparency in evaluating students' performance, aiding data-driven decision-making. Familiarization with school forms is crucial for accurately recording and reporting student information, promoting transparency and effective communication with the stakeholders.
The importance of having a sympathetic.
Sige, diretso.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and the importance of having systematic approach on computing grades, we get a well-organized flow of grades when we use a systematic approach to grades computation. In other words, it's good way for determining the reliability of evidence. This method should be able by teachers in order for them to be able to accurate and dependable calculation. School forms are required by the Department of Education and are used to compile students' record, assess performance, and ensure quality reporting.
A systematic approach to computing grades promotes fairness, transparency, objectivity, and accountability in the grading process. It allows the consistent and reliable assessment practices, fosters student growth and improvement, and prepares students for future academic endeavors.
Clear and systematic grading policies help students and parents understand how grades are determined. This transparency builds trust and makes it easier to explain grading decisions when needed. School forms often serve as a primary means of communication between the school, parents, and other stakeholders. Proper use of these forms ensure clear and effective communication regarding student performance and school activity.